Ahoy! Today we're talking about a bunch of stuff regarding Loki as well as new skins, all for the upcoming patch, the Loki rework, which is now confirmed to happen in the next patch. The first thing we have is a little bit of a teaser, and that is from his second ability. You may remember that I already showed an earlier version of this ability that was kind of leaked onto the live client, which was just Weeping Loki, and I kind of thought that they took the more violent aspect out of it. They did not do that. The full version can be seen here, and it keeps that violent aspect of him being tortured basically, poison dripping in his face from this dagger, and we see this AoE around it. And what we know about this ability is that it's replacing the decoy, and it will not quite work the same. The initial iterations, for example, would not taunt the enemy and instead just do an AoE that lasts for a while and blind enemy guards that stay in it for 3 ticks or so. The exact balancing nuances were not established at that point yet, but that was the general idea of the ability. It seems like we'll keep that, especially with the poison dripping in the eyes. It will make sense if the blind stays a part of it as well. This is further established by the caption of this GIF when Smite Game posted on Twitter: "Tortured by these agonizing visions, but I won't suffer alone." Maybe this will also mean that you not only get blinded, but get some kind of visual jump scare. We had that with the Halloween potion once, and the arena potion. So maybe you actually get like a little visual jump scare if you stay in it or something, or you just get like some terrible vision from Loki's past that shows up. We'll find out about the exact details here, but it seems to have some effect on vision either way. And then we have this picture, which looks like a Loki recolor. And I think that's exactly what this is going to be. Because if you remember, Hi-Rez planned to release an extra god this year, which is not going to happen anymore. But people bought that bundle, that premium skin bundle for the new god releases this year. Some people bought it. And that includes an additional recolor for every god that has been released this year, or will be released. And if they take away one of those releases, those people basically get one skin less. Now I think instead they will be getting this Loki skin to compensate for that, and Loki with his rework is basically almost treated like a new release, which makes sense with how off the radar he has been and with this being the focus of the patch and everything. It is worth noting that the skin also visually looks very similar to the Baron Samedi Golden Touch skin, which was released as a commendation rewards last year for everyone who played 50 matches without getting banned, but I have a feeling that's not going to be the case. I just wanted to point out that it is a possibility as well, but that wouldn't be released at this point of the year anyways, so I feel like this is just going to be the premium recolor. The caption of this one is 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes, 4. Watch your back or you'll get 1 strike more. The Loki rework will be revealed on the Trickster God update show next week. Brace yourself for his new Flurry of Daggers. And that's an important part because this refers to his new 3, which is also a reworked ability, which is now Flurry of Daggers and will be multiple attacks. We already saw that in the teaser as well, and I'm guessing that that will be included in the game in some variation if it's already included in this caption here. So we can kind of expect the rework to go in the direction that they initially pitched. In addition to the Loki rework and the new Loki skins, we'll also see some other new skins for other characters, and these ones are actually for the bonus balance, meaning they will come out shortly after the patch. So when we see them announced, then it'll not be long until we get them. And at least one of those is very highly anticipated. All of these skins have been data mined and rendered by Daredust, and all the links can be found below on Reddit as well, so you can check them out yourself. First up, we have Dark Lord Chark. This guy is basically Star Wars Sith Chark. If you look closely at the background of the picture here, you can actually see some starships as well, so that's very matching with that. And other than that, you see him in that typical armor with a little bit of a cloth around his head as well. Not sure how to call that, being like a head and scarf piece basically. And of course he has an axe to go along with that as well. You can see here massive like kind of technological axe. I'm not sure if the components of it will move, I highly doubt it, but it would be cool. And then it'll probably have that glowing blade at the end. Keep in mind that, as always, the FX on this is not final. The large back piece that you can see here stands out a little bit in my opinion, but generally speaking, it's a relatively plain skin with not too many details, unless there's additional ones that are yet to come with the FX. Let's have a listen to the voice pack.
A machine greater than any man.
The skin will be available in the Odyssey for 500 gems and comes with an exclusive loading screen, which is the art, and then also 10,000 Odyssey points. And now for the most anticipated skin of the patch, and maybe one of the most anticipated skins in Smite, with the exception of Chef Vulcan, Gambit Queen Hera. I gotta say, it's actually not my personal fave of this patch, we get to that one in a bit, but it's still a fantastic skin overall. I don't need to say much about the card art because I already made a video talking about that when this was first revealed. Let's look at the in-game model and let's look how she turned out. Here we see her in-game model. Again, not the same as the original concept. Hera was the one that got a fair bit of work. And I think especially the dress looks really, really cool now with all these golden ornaments on it, that these little golden chains and these little elements from the cards and everything. Looks really, really cool, and that necklace that matches it. So she has this very fancy look that really matches her style in the skin overall. And you know, I often say that it's very important that skins look good from the back and that the back design is very important because that's what the player sees. Well, in this case, Hi-Rez most definitely landed a jackpot with that one. No complaints on this one at all. But let's be real here. The actual big deal of the skin is not Hera, it's Argus. And that's him in all his glory, and he looks absolutely fantastic, and all the elements that were shown before are included. He's got things going on everywhere, from the dice, the big H, the whole jackpot thing. Everything is there. It looks so cool, and I can only imagine how cool it's gonna look in-game with all the animations, especially of the head as well. It's just overall such a cool design. And again, even from the back, we see these elements reflected, so really, really well done. I personally think this one really turned out super well. I think they couldn't really have done that any better. The only parts that look a little bit lackluster are likely the ones that will have some special effects, like the connectors of the arms. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some glow going on and stuff that we'll see in-game. Let's check out the voice pack.
You could play against me, but Lady Luck has never left my side.
I would say that's also absolutely matching the personality and sounds really, really good. So I think the skin is really super well executed. And here comes the best part. I thought this was going to be in a chest for sure, but it's not. This will be part of the Odyssey and you can buy it for 500 gems. It comes with an exclusive recall skin and 10,000 Odyssey points. If you're planning to get anything in the Odyssey at any point, like just to climb up a little bit, like for example, if you're like me and you want to get to the Mulan skin and maybe the Xinqian skin, but you don't want to get the tier 5, then this is definitely one of the skins that you want to get as long as it's still on sale, I think, because it's just so cool, it looks so good. And it also shows Hi-Rez once again that we want these skins. We want these skins that we request. Like, we are serious when we say a skin is good and we want to have it. So again, that gives them the confirmation to go for the skins that we suggest to them more. But as excited as I am about the skin, there are some more. We have Cybernetic Ullr. The name says it all here really. It's a cybernetically enhanced version of Ullr, and we can see that reflected in the card art. The in-game model here looks a little bit dull. I think this skin will greatly benefit from the shading and lighting that will be on him, so I would not judge him by this design all too much. I feel like he's not gonna look quite as rusty when we see him in game, because metal parts typically have like some shining effects on them that make them look a fair bit better. But even outside of that, I gotta say it's not a particularly interesting skin to me, because I don't know, it's just another edgy skin for Ullr, and he's got plenty of those. The back view doesn't reveal anything new in that regard either, but let's have a listen to the voice pack.
I've destabilized planetary democracies and exterminated entire alien species. This should be a piece of cake.
Unsurprisingly edgy as well. And the skin will not be part of the Odyssey. I actually thought it would be, which would be frustrating if it was a Chaac skin, this skin, but it's the Hera skin. Instead, this one will be in a chest, in the Fighting Machine chest, along with the Global Mode and Avatar. The fact that this is in a chest makes me think that there might be some more to his special effects that stand out in a way that makes him more interesting, because otherwise I can't really imagine all too many people rolling a chest for him, unless Ullr skins are just always bought, who knows. Maybe there's just a demographic of Rexys that buys all the Ullr skins. But remember how I said that the Hera skin is actually not my favorite skin from this patch? That's because it's this one, Blobtious Bacchus. I really like the design of the skin, and I'm also a bit biased because I just like Bacchus more than Hera. So this skin is strongly Dungeons and Dragons inspired. Apparently it's based on the Gelatinous Cube from Dungeons and Dragons, and it includes multiple aspects and hints towards Dungeons and Dragons. So for example, in his body is a mimic, the chest, as well as a bard with a lute. The skeleton is a bard actually. You can see that here a little bit, and you can also see that here way better in his render. And it looks so funny and so cool to me. And I love these little like nods towards it. Even though I don't play Dungeons and Dragons, I still get some of them, especially with the dice as his weapon as well. So I think that is super cool, and I love how he's like kind of like designed like an adventurer, and simultaneously the Gelatinous Cube that just absorbs everything or slows everything down that goes into it. So super cool concept, and I can only imagine how cool this skin is going to look when you use abilities like the belly flop especially, and maybe also the ultimate. I imagine he's gonna just splash all over the place, like his entire body is just gonna blob around, and it's gonna be so funny. I really like this concept. I really hope that his jumping animation matches that as well. And because his entire body is see-through, the back view looks equally cool. I'm not sure if the things in his body are actually moving. It might be the case because there's these eyes on the back, on the front, and it kind of looks like the skeleton is playing the instrument. So I'm not sure how far the skin will go, but no matter what, I think I'm going to like it a lot because I already like the base design a lot. This skin will unfortunately be in a chest, the Blob chest, along with a bundle containing a jump stamp and a death mark. And I have a feeling that the jump stamp is gonna be some ooze on the ground, so that would be pretty cool as well. It's crazy in my opinion how Bacchus has just an insane amount of really good skins, even though he's not even particularly meta. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know, maybe he's just being played in non-conquest mode so much, maybe it's because he's played in Joust so much or something, that it actually still pays off for hires to make these skins, but I'm very happy with this particular one especially. This may actually be my new favorite Bacchus skin. And that is it for today. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this, feel free to hit the sub button and maybe the bell so you get notified of future video, especially with the patch notes and everything coming up in the Loki rework. We're gonna have plenty to talk about there. And other than that, I hope to see you for the next one soon. Duke-Sloth, out.
Blobkits can now find his way! Blobkits is never lost!